Should or should you not get Prehistoric Kingdom, or should you perhaps wait until full release of the game? That's the question that we're going to try and answer today, and who am I to tell you whether you should or should not get Prehistoric Kingdom? First of all, hey, I'm Poisonblade. Second, I've made some videos on Prehistoric Kingdom. I've built some things, some big, some small things. I've also spent quite some time in the game, or at least by my definition of quite some time. So anyways, should or should you not get Prehistoric Kingdom? Let's get into it. But first, let's establish what is Prehistoric Kingdom. So for those people who have just randomly come across this game and are now interested in it, Prehistoric Kingdom is Zoo Tycoon, but instead of filling your zoo with lions or zebras, you're filling it with dinos. So you might now get the idea of Jurassic Park, which isn't that far off. However, when it comes to Prehistoric Kingdom, there's a high emphasis on building the Dino Zoo Park. I don't know what the correct term is, so we're going with Dino Zoo. But there's a high emphasis in the game on building the Dino Zoo of your dreams, with unlimited creative freedom. But here is where Prehistoric Kingdom differs from Zoo Tycoon, which is because of one thing, the modular system. For those who don't know what a modular system is, it basically allows you to build things yourself, piece by piece building, I would also call it. So instead of placing pre-built buildings, such as you would do in Zoo Tycoon with pre-built toilets and restaurants, you are able to build those buildings yourself. Plop down the walls where you want them, the windows where you want them. Of course, there are still pre-built buildings in Prehistoric Kingdom for those who don't want to go to that length of detail. But the same also apply to your habitats, where you can plop down the plants precisely where you want them, the rocks precisely where you want them. However, when it comes to the plants, there is a tool in the game that's actually quite satisfying, but it allows you to place multiple trees at random at the click of a button. However, Prehistoric Kingdom makes deforestation fun. For me, it's very satisfying to delete trees because they just shrink down into the ground. But to sum up, what is Prehistoric Kingdom? Prehistoric Kingdom is basically, if you know the games Planet Zoo and Jurassic World Evolution, and you let those two games come together, have some wild times, the child that would come out of it would be Prehistoric Kingdom. However, that child is not really finished yet, it's still in the womb, because Prehistoric Kingdom is an early access game. Early access is probably going to be one of the biggest barriers on whether you should or should not get Prehistoric Kingdom right now, and I will put a Wikipedia definition on screen of what early access means, at least if editing Poison is even slightly awake, which I doubt. But to put it in simple terms, early access means that the game is not finished yet, the game is actively being worked on, yet you can buy it at a reduced price and play it. So this does mean that not all of the features promised with the full release are in the game yet. It also means that you are going to encounter bugs, you are going to encounter glitches. So you have to set your expectations accordingly, and the glitches that I have encountered so far are actually pretty funny. Yes, I have guests spawning on the roof of my buildings, and then there's the curious case of my woolly rhinos who for some reason love to twerk. On the bug side of things, it's a little bit less funny because recently I encountered the save file bug, which as far as I'm aware of, the devs are aware of and are actively trying to fix. But the save file bug is when your game basically gets stuck in saving but doesn't actually save. And then there was the ghost visual bug, I would call it, which has since been fixed, but basically what it means is that I would place a piece down, such as a wall, and I would delete it, but the visual of the wall would remain, but functionally it would be gone, so I couldn't click it or anything, couldn't try and delete it again. So that bug has since been fixed. So if you're not into that part of the early access part of Prehistoric Kingdom and you want to have a full game with the least amount of bugs and glitches, then I would say wait until the full release of the game. But even if you don't want to go for early access, the devs are very active on all forms of media. There's a Discord which you can join. There's almost bi-weekly streams of the devs building up the game. They have a very active Twitter, so even if you don't go for early access, it's very easy to just stay in the loop and then decide when you want to get the game on your own pace. But let's talk about the game itself, starting off with its main selling feature, which is of course, the dinos and the other animals, because there are 3 lovely imposters in the game who aren't actually dinos. But as of the recording of this video, there are 23 dinos and other animals in the game, ranging from your lovely giants who might actually be tall enough for it not to be considered rude or offensive to ask how the weather is up there, to your classical Jurassic Park predators, aka your T-Rexes, to your small aviary boys who remind me heavily of seagulls for some reason, so of course I hate them. But speaking of the dinos and the other animals, but mostly the dinos, when it comes to Prehistoric Kingdom, they did them really well because I am not a dino person, I am not an animal person. So for me to be able to say I actually spent quite some time just watching my dinos and other animals walk around is saying a lot. And then there's also the case that when it comes to Prehistoric Kingdom, there is variety. There's not just one T-Rex model or one of the giant models. Here I am again showing that I don't know anything about dinos because I don't know the giant's name. But there's different models, so you can have your T-Rex walking around like a giant chicken, or at least have it have feathers. And then there's another variety, and then you have a tiny dino, which to me really just looks like the crossing between a chicken, a lizard, and a kangaroo. But you can have it walk around like it's a chicken, but then you can also just yeet away the chicken and then it looks like a green lizard. Now, I do have to make the caveat here that as of right now, there's not a lot of depth to the dinos. Yes, they will walk around, they will sleep, they will eat, they will shit. Even though I have turned that off, so I've basically just shoved the cork up my T-Rex's butt. But this lack of depth is to be expected with an early access game. The amount of depth, but also the amount of dinos and animals is supposed to increase over time. And the public roadmap shows us that the devs are not only expecting to increase the amount of depth to the dinos with each quarterly update, but also the just sheer amount of dinos by adding 3 new dinos or other animals with each of these major updates. So I'm actually very intrigued how the dinos are going to behave and also which new dinos we are going to get every 3 months. So if you're here for the dinos, then Prehistoric Kingdom can probably satisfy you somewhat right now, but certainly later down the line, 3 months from now or 6 months from now. Now coming to the point that actually brought me to Prehistoric Kingdom, and I can actually be pretty short about this when it comes to the building of Prehistoric Kingdom. You pretty much have unlimited freedom in Prehistoric Kingdom, not only because of the modular tool where you can just build your own restaurants wall by wall and piece by piece, but also because of the resizing tool that legitimately makes it able that you can use the pieces that are in-game right now and build a pen or a light socket. Like, you can go completely wild with what you want to build in Prehistoric Kingdom. You want to build a Mediterranean zoo? You can do that. You want to rebuild Jurassic Park? You can do that. It all just depends on your level of skill, creativity, and of course time, which, considering I put 100 hours into Prehistoric Kingdom as of right now, yes, it can just completely make you forget time. As for Prehistoric Kingdom as a zoo simulator, I can be pretty short here as well. Although, unlike with the building of Prehistoric Kingdom, where I kept myself short because I could talk for hours about how great I find building in Prehistoric Kingdom, when it comes to Prehistoric Kingdom as a zoo simulator, it's short because there's not a lot there. When it comes to the guests in Prehistoric Kingdom, yes, they are there, they walk around, but they don't interact with anything. They are not affected really by anything as of right now. They just kind of walk around, as somebody said to me in a previous video, like zombies. They all are actually kind of creepy because not only do they kind of walk around like zombies, but they all kind of look the same. And they all have the same emotionless expression on their face. So they walk around like zombies that somebody pointed out to me does really hold true in a way. However, I am aware that the devs, I think have said that the guests are nowhere near where they want them to be. But since this review is based on what is there right now, yeah, the guests are not really there. Although they might want to eat your brains. And as for the managing of your zoo, you can buy food for your dinos. And that's pretty much it. You can like refill their food, stuff, things. I don't know what the word for it is. But you can do that, and there's some other small things that you can do, but there's not a lot there. There's not a lot of depth. So if you are here or interested in Prehistoric Kingdom for it being a zoo simulator, I would actually suggest you wait at least until the next major update or the third one. Because in the next major update, they will make the guests have welfare, so they will actually probably interact with stuff. And then in the third major update, they will introduce staff. So with that, I'm thinking that the managing of your zoo will by then have increased or will increase. Prehistoric Kingdom right now is more just building habitats, building what you want, looking at your dinos, and that's pretty much it. Now, I do want to talk a little bit more about the roadmap and the devs. Not as much in the way of, oh, should you buy Prehistoric Kingdom because of the roadmap? Not at all, but just I like it that the devs are so transparent with things. Like, if there's a delay, they will announce it pretty early on. They will show like what they are expecting to add with each update. I'm just really happy with how transparent everything is, and like you know when to expect what because of the roadmap. So I just wanted to note the roadmap. I will link the roadmap probably down below in the description if you are thinking like, oh, Prehistoric Kingdom right now is not for me, but maybe later down the line you can check with the roadmap of like, oh yeah, maybe in 3 months Prehistoric Kingdom is more for me because they have added this or that. So maybe the roadmap could also be a point of should you get it, but just like when you should get it. In conclusion, should you get Prehistoric Kingdom or not? Well, that depends on what you want to do with the game. If you're a builder and just want to build your merry heart away, then I would recommend Prehistoric Kingdom. It offers unlimited creative freedom. You can do whatever you want with the game. However, if you are interested in Prehistoric Kingdom as a zoo simulator, I would actually suggest you wait until further updates, but maybe join the Discord to kind of keep a track on the game, see what updates are coming out, and then estimate like, oh, I would like to get the game when this update comes out because it offers what I want when it comes to zoo simulator or dinos or such. Although the dinos, as of right now, look good, but they are pretty shallow. So that's my conclusion on Prehistoric Kingdom. Yay for builders, potential later down the line for zoo simulator geeks. Anyway, next week there's going to be a big build on the channel, a recreation, and this video was totally not made just because I couldn't finish that build this week. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Have a wonderful day, guys. Bye bye.